Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, and welcome to another edition of Spy Family Reviewing, Episode 3!
Yes! And once again, it delivers a really fantastic episode, adapting straight from the manga. I mean, it's like each episode is just even more entertaining than the last.
It keeps getting better and better, and the fun doesn't stop.
Right? And we also have the inclusion of an ending sequence, because last two episodes just kind of ended off and going straight into a preview. Episode 3 actually introduced a really fun and adorable ending.
Yes. And if you haven't seen it already, it's available on Crunchyroll exclusively, and you gotta watch it, you gotta see it. And you gotta read the manga, because you're ready for everything once you read the manga. But if you haven't, you still can watch it. So, as Rascal said, this week we started leading into family life.
Yes.
Your moves in.
Yes. And they pretty much need to get adjusted to being together before they set up the interview for the school, because they said they can't act like it just happened, or else it's gonna be suspicious.
And
so
Twilight Lloyd is losing his mind, trying to make sure everything is just right, because he's so used to being in control of everything, and here he can't control Anya. No one can, and he can't control Yor, and he is losing it.
You're right. And the whole time it's just pure hilarity, and only Anya knows what's going on in their minds, and every time she has the same horrible look on her face, like, ah!
And it says, shock! Every time it says, shock!
So it's pretty much them on an outing and doing various things, and every time it's going one way, Anya hears something else in their head, and then she's trying to maneuver somewhere else, and they're all still trying to keep their cover. So I'm really glad they still kept that theme in there, and they didn't add anything new, because it was just perfect as is.
When Yor turns up with her things, the first thing Twilight says is that everything? Yes, it isn't much.
Like, yeah, because usually when they have like a whole house worth of stuff. It's like it's just a few boxes.
So he moves her into the room. He says, of course, we'll have sleeping arrangements separately. Plus, we'll have a bedroom for when guests are over, to continue the illusion of being married.
Right.
She looked a little disappointed.
What you expect?
She's a little disappointed. Anya, however, is so excited. She's like, I have a mama. Ahaha. That's how it's said. And she's so excited she has a new mom. And she keeps saying, Anya has a mama. Anya has a mama.
Yes.
And she's really excited. And Yor seems to generally want to be kind to her.
Yes.
And she says it reminds her of when she was taking care of her brother when he was really little.
Right. And they go to like different places to, I guess, to bond, have bonding time. They go to an opera, which I think Anya fell asleep on. They go to an art museum. They go out to eat. They go to the park, and it's different things. It's always something kind of wrong, but it's not in like a horrible way. It's just like it's not going as you expect it, and it's each time it's hilarious, because every line of dialogue is just hilarious hearing it. And you want to hear the next thing that they say.
And it's so funny because they were practicing for the interview, and both Yor and Anya just kept getting everything wrong, not the way that the school wants it to be. So he said, let's take a break, let's go out.
Right.
So the answers were really bad before, and then after going to these places, an event happens that actually has them all working together as a team, and they get to see a side of, well, I shouldn't say a side they don't know about. Yor gets to see a side of Twilight she doesn't know about, Anya knows. And then Twilight gets to see a side of Yor that she's caring and considerate that he doesn't know, but Anya knows.
Right. It's like, you see how weird this is? So now by the end, they're still kind of like a little bit all over the place, but they are getting more adjusted,
and they're giving the right answer.
Yes.
Like we went to the museum, and we went to the opera, and we went to have ice cream.
Yes. He was like, yes, and he was finally happy they were getting the answers right. So now this will go into episode 4, where they actually have the school interview, and this is considered probably one of the funniest chapters of the series early on because of how everything happens.
I think what's really sweet about this episode and at the end is you're seeing again them getting along.
Yes.
Family, but Twilight, you can see the difference in his behavior.
Right.
It's supposed to be for work, for spying, but you can see that he's really beginning to enjoy their presence and their company. And he said he didn't want marriage and he didn't want kids, but you can see already the change happening with him.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's not like, okay, well, they forced him to do this, and now, oh my gosh, this is the result. No, you can see that amidst all the spying and the espionage, which I know is the same thing before someone tells me,
Right.
and the capers and everything that's been happening and being alone, you can see that he really, really likes this new experience.
Yes.
And it's really sweet.
Yes, and you see even more prevalent in the ending sequence. Like we said, there wasn't one in the previous 2 episodes, but this one actually has it. It has mostly Anya at first, and then when it gets to the rest of them, and they're just having a blast, and they're having fun, they're dancing. It's like, wait, they never dance, but it's like, it's her mind, so they do whatever. And it's really fun. And the only thing we know is that there's still one more character that hasn't shown up yet, but they'll probably come in after the school interview.
2 more. No, several more.
Several more, but I guess for the family, they have not gotten to the pet yet because you've seen online.
It's a while to go, but there's some other characters that come before the pet that are crazy, lunatics.
Right. Yeah, you will see them eventually as it goes on.
So the good thing also, we'll remind you is that Netflix has, I'm sorry, forgive me, Crunchyroll, you know how much you love Netflix. Crunchyroll has sub and dub available, so you can see last week's episode number 2 subbed or dubbed, and this week's number 3 subbed only.
Right. So this has been again another great episode, and we're really glad that the show is getting more and more popular because we've been seeing everyone online that's been going nuts in terms of making art and shout outs and praise to the voice actors and things. So we're really happy to see that it's gotten such a fan base quickly. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, animated shows, and all things animation.
And more Spy Family reviews each week.
Yes. So, thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace. Papa is a big liar.